Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package for today. I'm your presenter, Alian Christopher. Let's take a look at the major headlines for today. Family emergency plans should be put in place. The call from one nurse. Ships ready to dock in Cabrit National Park following successful pier restoration. And the current DLP administration unchallenged and unmatched, says a veteran minister. Stay tuned for these and other stories when CBN4's Primetime News Package returns. We'll be right back.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back. In observance of World Blood Donor Day, celebrated on Thursday, June 14th, Princess Margaret Hospital Laboratory Blood Bank, in collaboration with Jolly's Pharmacy and the Red Cross Club, conducted a blood donor drive at the Prevo Cinemall. The theme for this year's observance is "Be there for someone else, give blood, share life."
It's actually our third episode collaborated with the Ministry of Health, more specifically the Blood Bank, in sensitizing the public on the importance of blood donation. Today is indeed a special day because it's actually World Blood Donor Day, and that is internationally recognized. And so it's the right time to really send the message out there that blood truly saves lives. And just like you would head to your cupboard or to your pharmacy to purchase a drug to actually enhance or to save your life, the very same thing blood can do for you. And so for the mother who is at the hospital who had a C-section, for the person who is going to be an amputee who have their legs amputated, for the person who is on chemotherapy because of cancer and has to get a blood transfusion, we recognize that blood is really essential in all of those cases. And so Jolly's Pharmacy, as a champion of public health, education and advocacy, we've seen the need to be a bigger platform here on Dominica in its quest of promoting and educating the public on health matters. And so when we recognize that today World Blood Donor Day was approaching, we definitely came on board and said, why not have another public screening drive whereby people can donate blood free of cost, and that would in itself would help with the sustainability of our blood bank.
Lando further noted that we all have a responsibility to give the best to humanity.
This year's theme again. It's really one of selflessness, meaning that many times we look at ourselves and we always think that nothing bad is going to happen to us. We drive our beautiful cars and our vans and we say that we will never get into an accident because we are defensive drivers. But you never know when that other driver may not be as defensive as you are and may run into you and it can result in a terrible accident. You losing a limb, you losing an eye, or you even dying. And so it says that we all have a responsibility as civilians to really give the best to humanity, and that is the extension of life through blood.
World Blood Donor Day is observed every year on June 14th. The Roseau Health District, in collaboration with the Office of Disaster Management, held what is dubbed a tabletop exercise as a means of preparedness for the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season. The hurricane season officially began on June 1st and have already produced 2 Category 4 hurricanes in the Pacific, namely Aleta and Bud.
Hosting the Roseau Health District in facilitating them with the exercise. It's a tabletop exercise that they have indulged in participating. It is part of preparedness aspect, and the Office of Disaster Management is working in collaboration with its partners, because we really cannot do it alone. Our health is critical to the country itself, and it is important that they are ready and equipped in the event that there were to be a situation. They will be able to respond and save lives and reduce the mortality rate. So this is the reason why they're here today, actively participating in this drill exercise.
The program officer hopes that after this tabletop exercise, the Roseau Health District will conduct a practical drill exercise, which he says is important.
Here we're basically outlining their roles, their responsibilities as to what they will do if there were to be a warning or a watch, a warning, and possible impact. So they'll be going through the process, learning their roles, their responsibilities, and with the drill exercise, since they have already understood their role and they know what to do, they will now implement that into a practical field. So there are things that they will be doing practically, have a few victims and have them respond to it like there was an event.
Meantime, team leader for the Roseau Health District and District Medical Officer Dr. Peters said, as healthcare workers, it is their duty and responsibility to promote health and to promote life. Hence the reason why the health team has a disaster management plan.
No, the plan, just having a plan is not enough. Having a plan is one step in terms of mitigation. Knowing what is in the plan, disseminating it to the staff is very important. And the final step is practicing what is in the plan. Practice makes perfect. It increases your ability to respond and to execute efficiently.
And just like Donaldson Frederick noted earlier, Dr. Peters also noted that the practical drills will be held at a later date. And in related news, Nurse Ivo John Baptist, a participant at the tabletop exercise, stresses the need for family emergency plans for before, during, and after a storm. As stated by Nurse John Baptist, an emergency family plan tells you what you should do, where you should go, what you should take, and other activities you could get involved in after a storm.
In case of any emergency, it's supposed to be an emergency plan. You put that plan together. Actually, there's a book from Red Cross which says family plan. It tells you what to do in an earthquake, what to do in a storm, what to do, different other disasters. Then you say who does what, who puts what where, and where to meet after the storm or after what disaster, and who's the first person to call. And all little information you put together for your family. Where the key staying, who put it where, who first to touch what to put what where, and there's little information you need to know for your family during and after any disaster. And tell us.
Nurse John Baptist further advised the general public to set family emergency plans for future events.
For mitigation that we think is a bad word, but mitigation helps us to put things in place so that during when you hear a warning or watch, that you're already prepared. You have all the things in place. So when something happens, you know, well, okay, that's already in place, so you just move.
And we'll be back with more news after this break. Stay right here with us. Welcome back. Local investment and hospitality company Range Development is pleased to announce that restoration of the pier in Cabrit National Park is completed. The project has been undertaken in partnership with MV Pacific Hope, a ship that is dedicated to supporting the local community through the provision of medical care and construction services via its dedicated volunteers. Fernie James has more on this report.
The pier was severely damaged by Hurricane Maria. As a result, ships have been unable to dock there ever since. The work will partially restore the functionality of the pier, enabling ships to access Cabrit National Park and Fort Shirley. Dr. Lennox Honeychurch, curator of Fort Shirley, said, "We are very fortunate that this assistance has come at this time, as we are preparing to welcome international students for a summer program at Fort Shirley, who will need the pier to access their dive boat. We also need to prepare for the 2018-2019 yacht and tourist cruise season." Following the completion of the restoration work, which has been undertaken in cooperation with the Port Authority, MV Pacific Hope is able to dock at the pier and provide much needed medical assistance for local patients. This isn't the first time that Range Development has collaborated with MV Pacific Hope. The two organizations are currently working together on the restoration work of Calls, a local youth center, which was also damaged by Hurricane Maria. Further collaborations between both organizations are also planned for the future. Kamal Shihada, Development Director at Range Development, said the pier in Cabrit National Park is an important community asset, and restoring its functionality will enable its wider use for a wide range of beneficiaries. I would like to personally invite and encourage members of the community and associated organizations to join us in our ongoing efforts so that together we can benefit even more people. Range Developments hope to build upon their social responsibility efforts by supporting other worthwhile community projects and initiatives.
And in other news, Deputy Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Reginald Austri, has confidently indicated that the current government of Dominica, led by Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, remains unchallenged and unmatched by any other government. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, this government believes in the people.
But I want to say to you that our record on housing is unchallenged and unmatched by any other government. Because this government believes in people. This government believes that no matter how much schools you build, no matter how many bridges you build, no matter how many roads you build, unless the people are touched by it, then you're going to have a problem. And so we believe that by taking care of our people, by taking care of our young people, by taking care of our senior citizens, by making our people happy and comfortable, they are in a better position to respond to the call of the government to aid and assist in the development process. Because imagine, you have 3 beautiful hotels being built around Portsmouth, under construction.
In the development of the Northern Housing Project and other housing projects across the island, Austria said the unchallenged Dominica government is not only giving persons a modern and decent house, but houses of high standards.
The point that these buildings can find themselves in any part of the world, whether you go to St. Martin, well, that's the Caribbean, but these buildings can find themselves fitted into any community, regionally or internationally. So we're not giving our people the lowest standards. We're giving you the highest standard because we believe that you have toiled, that you have paid your price, and now it's time for you to reap the sweet reward from the fruits of your labor.
He further indicated that not only is the government building homes, but it is also involved in the enhancing of the investment opportunities for Portsmouth.
Can maintain a certain level of environmental friendliness, cleanliness of the city of Portsmouth and Cottonhill and Georgetown, but also to give our people a sense of pride, a sense of belonging, a sense of wanting, a sense of caring. So it's not just about the housing development, but what is added onto it. And
the minister also stated that the government's record stems from the $1 square foot lands which the people of Chance can attest to. Also in the news, the nature isle of the Caribbean, Dominica, will be the home of another massive sports tourism event as the country has been selected to host the OECS Cycling Championships for a second consecutive year. A total of 10 cyclists will represent Dominica at the Cycling Championship scheduled for July 1st, 2018 and will be up against cyclists from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Grenada, St. Kitts, Antigua and Barbuda. The Dominica team reads Chester Leighton, Levi Barron Sr., Bram Sanderson, Hayden Mills, Koaf Barron, Kevin Boyd, Ronald Charles, Edison Rudet, Benjamin Daniel and Enoch Telemark.
Dominica will be hosting it, and therefore every single Dominican should circle the 1st of July 2018, because I can guarantee you it will not be business as usual like 2017. I know for sure up in the top 10, 2 fellas will emerge, but they will be from Dominica. So everybody should be close enough for and circle that date. The Dominica Cycling Association, we've been looking forward to this championship. Hurricane Maria came around and it did not deter us from continuing our goal, from continuing our aim and objective to see cycling move on. For matter of fact, I'll quote it from a cyclist who say, the rubble in the road make it more fun to ride. So that means even during the and after the hurricane season, we're able to ride and do what we have to do.
Meantime, Secretary General of the Dominica Olympic Committee, Phyllis Barron, congratulated the Dominica Cycling Association. She said cycling can be considered as a relatively new sport here in Dominica.
I say congratulations to the Cycling Association for setting the pace in sports in Dominica. With less than 2 years on their scene, they have proved themselves. That is what our associations are here for, to provide the support and full support to the athletes, while in turn we at the DOC provide our affiliates, the associations, with the most needed assistance required to facilitate this.
She further stated that the Dominica Olympic Committee is pleased to announce its support to the Dominica Cycling Association and will provide its contribution to ensure that the OECS Cycling Championship becomes a reality on July 1st. And the government of Dominica has had the serious task of rebuilding and repairing road networks following the extensive damage caused by Hurricane Maria on September 18, 2018. The Minister for Public Works, Water Resource Management and Ports, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, visited 3 major ongoing projects that are all progressing satisfactorily. As shown in the attached video footage, rehabilitation works are ongoing on the Mont Prosper Road and progressing nicely. The final finishes are being done on the Charles Avenue, which should be motorable by the weekend, and the all-important Botanic Gardens Road project is also nearing completion.
Right here we are at the L'Escalier area on the Mont Prosper Road, and as you would have known before, we have completed the first half of the Mont Prosper Road, which is from the Mont Prosper bus stop to L'Escalier, technically through Savannah. But during Hurricane Maria, we had a major event here in terms of, a lot of trees fell, the road was blocked, and then we had the fear of the foundation of the road breaking completely, because here is basically sheer cliff and is the only access to Mont Prosper. We are going to shell the area, and the aim here is to widen this road, put in all the safety features of it, and of course get a lovely 2-lane road coming up to Mont Prosper. And I think we're going to start that very soon. We just came from Coptol as well, to where we saw major works taking place. Now you may ask, why am I talking about all these projects at one time? These projects are all related. In the Coptol area, if you allow the Coptol erosion as undertaken by the Queens River, which is the Rosa River, it has been undermining there for a number of years. If you allow it to continue, it will be a problem for us, because your same Mont Prosper Road, the Wharton Waven Road, which is where, and this is what we're trying to do here right now, if we don't stem that decay there in terms of the erosion that's taking place, and some of the properties, sad but true, they've been built on the riverbed, the river path, if you want to call it that, the draining path of the river. But I mean, let's say development over 60, 70 years, sometimes based on our lifespan, we don't know what's going to happen. But moving forward post-Maria, we have to be taking those things into consideration, because it's costing government a significant amount of money to come in and train rivers, retrain rivers, put the necessary rock, the boulders, the barriers to protect roadways in the Rosa Valley. The Rosa Valley is very, very wet. When we come to Mont Prosper, yes, there are no rivers flowing up here, but when you look at the erosion taking place downhill, it will continue to create more and more landslides, and this can pose more and more threats for our roads. At Charles Avenue, but a great day for Dominica, and especially when we are just about to, as you can see, commence the asphalting of the gateway to Goodwill. We are at about $3.8 million, just under $4 million, with some variation, of course, adjustments to the project, but I think that's a great day for us. You can see here, this project was a project undertaken by Offshore Marine. This project was funded by the road levy, the road tax, as you may want to call it. And as I said earlier on, people must feel a sense of ownership of this project, because their money actually contributed to this project. So we're looking at ownership. But right now we are just about to end it in terms of we're going to go up till about this weekend. By Sunday, I was told that this road will be motorable and we can really use this road properly. So.
And with that, we come to the end of today's Primetime News package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 staff, I am Arlen Christopher saying thank you, and thank you for joining us.